RoadflyTV.com, the internet's best resource for buyers, sellers, and owners like you.
Hi, I'm Ross Rappaport with RoadflyTV.com. Thanks for joining me on this episode of RoadflyTV. Today, I've got my hands on the all-new 2011 Audi A8, a tour de force of aesthetics, performance, and technology. This is Audi's largest sedan, and like most Audis, it's beautiful inside and out. It has a more visually compact look to it than the car it replaced, yet Audi says it's both the longest and the widest standard wheelbase car in its class, which also includes the Mercedes-Benz S-Class and BMW 7 Series. The cabin of the A8 is simply stunning. A friend of mine astutely observed that the interior lighting reminded him of the new Tron movie, and I totally agree. And futuristic touches aside, there is just leather and wood and suede and metal everywhere you look. And I think it's safe to say that Audi's reputation as the king of interior design is safe for now. And while I'm in here, I have to talk about Audi's newest technological innovation. It's something called Multimedia Interface, or MMI for short. MMI is a touchpad on the center console, and you can actually write on it with your finger to tell the navigation system where you want to go. It also controls the phone functions and the radio stations. This futuristic system works well most of the time, but you have to be precise with your inputs. Owners of this car will do well to master it inside and out, because trying to control the car's functions the old-fashioned way through the knobs on the center console is downright confusing. This car's seats deserve a special mention. They are 22-way power-adjustable seats, a $2,000 option, and you couldn't possibly have enough buttons to cover all these seat functions. So the way Audi takes care of it is actually pretty good. There's a 4-way joypad on the side of the seat, and there's a toggle switch on the outside of it. The toggle switch gets you through each adjustable menu, and the joypad will actually do the adjusting for you. I've tested most of the logical competition for this car, and I can say that while it doesn't have the most powerful engine or the fastest 0 to 60 time, it's definitely the most engaging and even playful. The lightweight aluminum body pays huge dividends in acceleration, braking, and handling. And when you put the car in sport mode, the controls react with a sort of racy heaviness that I really didn't expect to find here. This car features a delightful 4.2-liter V8, making 372 horsepower. Now, in 2010, that may not sound completely staggering, but this car gets more done with less because it's made entirely out of aluminum. It still gets to 60 in 5.7 seconds, which is right around the same as a BMW 7 Series or Mercedes S550. And it weighs 4,400 pounds, which is about the same as those cars. The aluminum comes into play because the Audi actually has all-wheel drive. So an A8 with all-wheel drive, which typically adds a pretty stiff weight penalty, weighs about the same as a Mercedes or BMW without all-wheel drive. And when you look at it that way, the car's performance really starts to make more sense. One piece of Audi's flagship sedan that's actually drawn some criticism is the shift lever. Some reviewers have called it clunky, but I would really call it deliberate. And it's connected to a really, really awesome 8-speed automatic transmission, which I think is responsible for the Audi's surprising fuel economy figures. This car, despite its performance and size, gets 17 miles per gallon in the city and 27 on the highway. And that's because with an 8-speed automatic transmission, it turns just around 2,000 RPM at 80 miles an hour. That's pretty astounding, and I'm pretty sure that on a long trip you could do even better than 27 miles per gallon. This car has a much more forgiving starting price than either of its main German competitors. A V8-powered BMW 7 Series will start at around $82,500, and forget about even getting into an S-Class for less than $91,000. But this car starts at just a shade over $78,000, and you'll appreciate that slight discount because in typical German fashion, things get really expensive when you start ticking the options boxes. For example, I love the stereo system, but for $6,300, I'm just not sure I could justify it, even if the tweeters do pop out of the dashboard. This is a highly impressive car, and anyone who still thinks that Audi hasn't caught up to BMW and Mercedes really needs to give this thing a second look. Now, I've tested over the past 2 years potential competitors to this car from Jaguar, Mercedes, Lexus, and Infiniti. And while this car is the least powerful, it somehow manages to be the most exciting. And with its standard bad weather capability and surprising fuel economy, it's probably the most practical and easy to live with out of all of those cars as well. And I'm amazed to say this, but in addition to being the best bargain in its class, it's possible that this is the best driver's car in its class. And the only catch to that is that I haven't driven a BMW 7 Series, so as soon as BMW sends me a 750i, we'll work this out once and for all. I'm Ross Rappaport, thanks for watching. Please join our community by subscribing to our YouTube channel. We'd love to hear from you.
RoadflyTV, the internet's best resource for buyers, sellers, and owners like you.